Thank you, Joey. Joey started his comments by stating that he's an IEEE volunteer. I'm the president of the IEEE, which is an organization of 400,000 members, and I too am an IEEE volunteer. The IEEE successes are due to the efforts of people like Joey and me, and at least 200,000 other scientists and engineers who volunteer for IEEE. So for those in the audience who are IEEE volunteers, thank you very much for being an IEEE volunteer. Now I'll start my remarks. Distinguished guests, friends, and members of the IEEE Coastal Los Angeles section, it is a pleasure to be here with you today. The 40th anniversary of the birth of the Internet is, of course, a significant event, to put it mildly. As president of the IEEE, my role is to present the IEEE's recognition of the birth of the Internet with an IEEE milestone. The IEEE Milestone program honors significant achievements in electrical, electronic, computer engineering, and in the associated sciences. Each milestone recognizes a significant achievement that occurred at least 25 years ago in an area of technology represented in IEEE. Now, the previous milestone I presented was this past August in Scotland, and the occasion was an anniversary of Maxwell's equations. So that too is a significant event. As I presented the milestone, and afterwards there was another award ceremony, which was the Maxwell Award. And the Maxwell Award is a joint award between the IEEE and the Royal Society of Edinburgh, and it just so happens that the patron of the Royal Society is Prince Philip. So along the way, I was introduced to Prince Philip, and the person introducing me tried to explain what the IEEE was. So the prince looks at me, and he says, "So how come my TV remote control is so difficult to use?" True story. Getting to the point of dedicating a milestone takes significant effort. In this case, the IEEE Coastal Los Angeles section is to be commended for nominating this milestone and expending great energy and an unwavering persistence in completing the process. Serving as the 2009 IEEE president and president-elect before that, I have had the honor and privilege of attending many IEEE events around the world, but I find that few give me more satisfaction than the dedication of an IEEE milestone. The satisfaction comes from the fact that these events represent great turning points in technical innovation and in the history of technology. IEEE feels that it is important to recognize pioneering events and the people behind them. Milestones are landmarks in the progress of technology and in the progress of civilization. All the IEEE milestones dedicated since the program's inception in 1983 have been for unique and pioneering efforts. They resulted in major advances in technology and had major impacts on society. Included in these milestones are some of the world's most widely known technological achievements, such as the Internet and Maxwell's equations. We are approaching 90 IEEE milestones, and more are on the way. If we examine the complete list, we see that an incredible diversity of technologies are represented. Here are a few highlights. Milestones have been dedicated for Franklin's work in London and for Alessandro Volta's invention of the electric battery. Both achievements took place in the 18th century. The 19th century achievements include telegraphy, the transatlantic cable, the telephone, alternating electrical current, and Popov's wireless communications network. In the 20th century, we have the ENIAC and RAMAC computers, the transistor, the wearable cardiac pacemaker, and the liquid crystal display. Among the 20th century achievements is also the Lempo-Ziv data compression algorithm, which is relevant to ARPANET and today's Internet. And the recognition of such achievements continues with today's milestone, which commemorates the first ARPANET connection. It also points to UCLA as the location of the first two nodes creating the initial connection. 40 years ago, a team led by Professor Leonard Kleinrock, a fellow CCNY graduate, sent the first message on ARPANET, which of course later became the Internet. The amazing array of speakers here today is further evidence of the significance of the great event that we are celebrating here today. The topics presented today are a result of the downstream impacts of the work of Leonard Kleinrock and his team, and of the untold number of other contributors. The diversity of technical accomplishments shown in the IEEE milestones is also becoming more prevalent in the interests and educational backgrounds of IEEE members. The IEEE was started 125 years ago by a small group of US electrical engineers, male electrical engineers, I might remark. Today, 45% of its 400,000 members are outside the US, and that percentage is growing. And if you extrapolate the trend, within about 5 years, the majority of IEEE members will be residing outside the US. Similarly, IEEE members today include not only EEs, but also a wide range of other professions. A 2008 study shows IEEE's growing technical professional diversity. Members were asked to list all the fields in which they held degrees. We found that only 66%, 2/3 of members, hold degrees in electrical electronics engineering. 27% hold degrees in computer science or computer engineering. That amounts to about 110,000 computer scientists and engineers. In addition, 10% have a degree in physics. I happen to have a degree in physics. 7% have degrees in mathematics, 8% in business or finance, and other fields include systems engineering, mechanical engineering, industrial engineering, material science and engineering, and medicine. The diversity also exists among the ranks of our 85,000 student members. 54% listed electrical or electronics engineering as their major. 36% listed computer science or computer engineering as their field. IEEE's successes for the past 125 years are no doubt the result of this great diversity. Our ability to engage a broad array of members in a diverse set of communities is one of IEEE's strengths. The collaboration of engineers, computer scientists, physicists, and others has been a primary accelerant of technology development. IEEE makes much of that collaboration possible through its conferences, publications, standards, and educational and other activities. Documenting and celebrating significant technology developments in history is a primary purpose of the IEEE Milestone Program. But there are also other important reasons for the Milestone Program. Milestones help increase the public's understanding of the contributions to society made by electrical, electronics, computer engineers, and the many other related technical professionals. This is done through the promotion of the Milestone Program in a range of local, national, and international news media. Locally, milestones are a way for members in IEEE sections to take pride in their profession and its accomplishments. They demonstrate to their local community how engineers, scientists, and technologists have contributed to the world community, helping to build the world we live in today. So the milestone this afternoon does more than just mark a single accomplishment. It also recognizes the contributions of individuals with diverse technical backgrounds, such as Len Kleinrock and his co-workers, and it brings attention to the contributions of engineers and scientists to a better world. And now, I'd like to read the milestone citation. Title is Birthplace of the Internet, 1969. At 10:30 p.m., 29 October 1969, the first ARPANET message was sent from UCLA to the Stanford Research Institute. Based on packet switching and dynamic resource allocation, the sharing of information digitally from this first node of ARPANET launched the Internet revolution. Thank you. Len, if you come up, please.
So this is a very special kind of honor. Dr. Vig mentioned we were both students at CCNY. As an undergraduate there many years ago, I remember hearing about this thing called the IRE, the Institute for Radio Engineers, and ASEE, the American Society for Electrical Engineers. And they joined and became the IEEE, a lot of letters here, Institute for Electronics and Electrical Engineers. And that was the most revered organization representing the profession in which I was entering. And it was something that was, it captured all the professionalism. All the good work that was done was published in the journals and the conferences that IEEE supported. And to receive, for the department and the School of Engineering, to receive a milestone award of this sort is like a maiden's dream, if you will. It couldn't get any better. And milestones, as Dr. Vig said, are not things that stand in the ground and commemorate an act, but they are indicators of what the history has been, honor it, and the way to go forward. And that's the way I hope we take this milestone award as a pointer to the future. Imagine getting a milestone and hear that Maxwell's equations got them as well. I mean, I feel I have to bow. Tesla also. I mean, the giants of the past, Dean Dee, I think you'll agree with me, it is awesome and quite revering to be able to join a group like that. And I'm especially pleased that if you go on the IEEE Milestone website, the example milestone they're using right now, today, is that plaque. So it's current, it's meaningful, and I want to thank you very much.
Thank you, John, and thank you, Len. Let me add a few words of mine as well. First of all, I hope everyone enjoyed this morning's program. The speakers were truly outstanding, and I'd like to thank them for sharing their views on the internet, where it is heading next, in both the power of grassroots organizing and in the future of internet in entertainment. This has been enlightening for me personally, and I'm looking forward to seeing the internet continue to evolve as a great tool for positive change. John, on behalf of the UCLA Henry Samueli School of Engineering and Applied Science, it is my great honor to accept the milestone plaque from IEEE. It is truly awe-inspiring that UCLA has joined some very distinct company with this IEEE milestone. As you mentioned and Len alluded to as well, the list includes many major achievements in the history of science and technology. These include Ben Franklin's early work on electricity in the 18th century, the unified theory of magnetism, electricity, and light, as well as telephone and telegraph in the 19th century, the invention of integrated circuits in the 20th century. And we are truly honored that UCLA's contribution, especially Leonard Kleinrock and his group of students and other research collaborators, has led to the development of the internet that dominates our society so much. The plaque we will place in a very prominent place in the School of Engineering, and this will act as a motivator as well as a reminder of the UCLA's contribution to the evolution of communication and electronics. And more importantly, this will inspire our students and visitors to create similar inventions in the future. We want our students to be truly creative, create new knowledge, drive, and show creativity and in making or finding solutions to 21st century's problems. It was done here with the internet, and who knows what is around the corner. I would also like to take this opportunity to make an announcement. And that announcement is that we are in the midst of creating a Len Kleinrock Endowed Chair in Computer Science and Engineering in honor of Len's legacy. This effort is spearheaded by his former students. One of them, Dr. Chopin Shen, is here, and he was CEO of Cloud Mosa, and he has really contributed a great deal of his effort and resources in fulfilling this chair. So please give him a big hand. Now, we all know Len is considered as one of the fathers of the internet, but what many of those on the outside may not know, he is an outstanding teacher as well and mentor of graduate students. He takes great pride in his teaching as well as producing innovative computer science students. Len has been extremely prolific in that direction. We are fortunate to have Len on the faculty of the School of Engineering, his students who are contributing to the school even after they have graduated, and to John for IEEE's recognition of UCLA's research and contribution to the technology. Thank you all.
So there's lots more. In fact, the session we're going to open up now is entitled Content and Capital, as you see in your program. It's going to visit some of the issues that were raised this morning, but with a focus more on where does the content come from, where do you put it, how do you deliver it,